Hello friends, from long time I am trying to upload one video topic wise. So this is my first, first on establishment, that is railway leave rules. And this topic is very important for all kind of railway departmental exam. And I tried my level best to make this video with latest updates. As per my knowledge, this is latest updates video. If any mistake is there, kindly send your comments. Through comments I may able to understand, know, and try to upload the correct. So this is, as I told, important for all kind of railway departmental exam, for group B to group C and group D to group C also. And with this is with amendments in Railway Service Liberalized Rule 1949. So today first question, Railway Service Liberalized Leave Rule 1949 contained in chapter dash of Indian Railway Establishment Code volume 1, that is in chapter 5. Railway Services Liberalized Leave Rules 1949 contained in chapter 5 of dash. Railway service that is available in Indian Railway Establishment Code volume 1 in chapter 5. Leave on average pay applicable to school staffs. Leave on average pay applicable to school staffs is, so some change is there. The leave account for every railway servant who is serving in a railway school shall be credited with leave on average pay in advance in two installments of 5 days each on the first day of January and July of every calendar year. So this 5 days is minimum and it will definitely credited. Previously they are not eligible if avails full leave on average pay applicable to school staff. In respect of any year in which a railway servant avails a portion of the vacation, he shall be entitled to additional leave on average pay in such proportion of 20 days as the number of days of vacation not taken bears to the full vacation, provided that a total leave on average pay credited shall not exceed 30 days in a calendar year. So depend upon the vacation, leave will be credited. Now leave on half average pay, LHAP. A railway servant, permanent or temporary, other than one who is serving in a railway school, shall be entitled to leave on half average pay of 20 days in respect of each completed year of service. So LHAP 20 days. Previously those who are serving in a railway school shall also be entitled to leave on half average pay, but now not eligible. So these are the changes. Same, leave on half average pay. The account of leave on half average pay of every railway servant, again other than a railway servant serving in a railway school, shall be credited with leave on half average pay in advance in two installments of 10 days each on the first day of January and July of every calendar year. So school teachers are now not getting any LHAP. Now child care leave with latest changes, a female railway servant and a single male railway servant may be granted child care leave. So single male railway servant also granted. It may be granted for a maximum period of 730 days. In short, we can say 2 years, 730 days. This leave is granted for taking care of two eldest surviving children, whether for rearing or for looking after any of their needs such as education, sickness and the like. So CCL for two eldest surviving children. Some more data on CCL with the current updates. For the purpose of CCL, child means either child below the age of 18 years, or so two circumstances is there, and the other one is an offspring of any age with a minimum disability of 40% as specified by the government of India. This 40% is decided by government of India. Grant of child care leave to a female railway servant and a single male railway servant shall be subject to the following conditions. Some conditions should be followed. First one is, it shall not be granted for more than 3 spell in a calendar year. More than 3 spells shall not be granted. In case of single female railway servant, the grant or leave in 3 spell in a calendar year shall be extended to 6 spell in a calendar year. In case of single female railway servant. And the other one is, it shall not ordinarily be granted during the probation period except in case of certain extreme situation. Probation period it will not be granted, but in some extreme situation it may be granted also. So child care leave may not be granted for a period less than 5 days at a time. Less than 5 days it cannot be granted. During the period of child care leave, a female railway servant and a single male railway servant shall be paid 100% of the salary for the first 365 days and 80% of the salary for the next 365 days. So total 730, half full 100%, next half 80%. Another fact is there, child care leave may be combined with any other kind of leave. Child care leave shall not be debited against the leave account. No any leave will be deducted. For the purpose of child care leave, single male railway servant means, here who are all the single male railway servant? An unmarried or widower or divorcee railway servant. Unmarried, widower or divorcee. Next important leave rule is WRIIL. It means work related illness and injury leave. Work related illness and injury leave. A special disability leave for injury intentionally inflicted, omitted and replaced with work related illness and injury leave. A special disability leave for accidental injury also omitted. So a special disability leave now no more. Hospital leave also omitted. Work related illness and injury leave WRIIL may be granted to both permanent or temporary railway servant. So this is changed now. Permanent as well as temporary railway servant, both WRIIL granted. Full pay and allowances shall be granted to all employees during the entire period of hospitalization on account of WRIIL. Till what date he is in hospital, full allowances will be given. No leave on average pay or no leave on half average pay shall be created during the period that employee is on WRIIL. Beyond hospitalization, a railway servant other than RPF and RPSF, full pay and allowances for the 6 months immediately following hospitalization and half pay for 12 months beyond the said period of 6 months employee will get during WRIIL. In case of RPF and RPSF, they are entitled full pay and allowances for 6 months immediately following the hospitalization as in the other case, and full pay only for the next 24 months also during WRIIL. So he is getting up to 24 months full payment. For personnel below the rank of officer of RPSF and RPF, full pay and allowances will be given. Now next leave is L&D, leave not due. L&D shall be limited to the LHAP which employees like to earn thereafter. L&D during the entire service shall be limited to a maximum of 360 days on medical certification. L&D shall be debited against the LHAP employee earned subsequently. Means they are going to earn, for that he can grant L&D in advance. Where a railway servant who is granted L&D resigns from service or at his request permitted to retire voluntarily without returning to duty, the L&D shall be cancelled, his resignation or retirement taking effect from the date on which such leave had commenced, and the leave salary shall be recovered. Now, study leave. A study leave may be granted to a railway servant, number 1, who has satisfactorily completed period of probation and has rendered not less than 5 years regular continuous service including the period of probation. The next is study leave. Next statement, who is not due to reach the age of superannuation from service within 3 years from the. So, who is not due to reach the age of superannuation from service within 3 years from the date on which he is expected to return to duty. Maximum amount of study leave. Maximum amount of study leave. The maximum amount of study leave which may be granted to a railway servant other than railway medical service officers shall be ordinarily 12 months at any one time, and during his entire service 24 months in all, inclusive of similar kind of leave for a study or training granted under any other rules. So this is the maximum amount of study leave. Friends, I will try to upload more videos on the same topic. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Soon I will upload more videos on leave rules only.